If you're looking for a laugh while cleaning a roof, got to kill some time making windows sublime, you got the right plan with Ryan and Dan. Welcome to the Uncleanables Podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Uncleanables Podcast. Myself and Ryan.
We've had a very interesting week.
We've had a phenomenal week. As you probably know, we have just came back from the road trip.
Well, I would have seen the road trip episode would be out.
Oh yeah, the road
YouTube.
trip. However, but no guest episodes yet.
No guest episodes just yet.
So
the first one will be Wednesday.
I think we should have a little recap of
who we went and saw.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Just have a little rundown of what you took away from it and whatnot, and what you think.
So, if we go through who we saw first. So, firstly, we saw Patrick from Abacus.
Yep.
They're doing close to £3 million a year.
Yes.
The majority of it's window cleaning. Then we saw Lee Pryor. It's doing £2 million a year. All of it's window cleaning. Domestic, no commercial work, doesn't even clean a shop front.
Yes, agreed. Let me just touch on that though, because what blew my mind, okay, is how very similar business-wise they are, however, how completely different characters they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying one's better than the other, because obviously, arguably, they're two very, very, very good people, very knowledgeable people to learn from, but just totally different.
Yeah.
Weren't they?
Yeah, very different, very different. And interesting to see how, which you can watch the guest episode, you'll understand a bit more, but one of them pushes for £700 to £1,000 a day per van, and the other aims for £550
Yes.
and has more vans.
Yes.
So there's less stress on the staff.
Mm-hmm.
I just found it very interesting.
I found it interesting as well. And I found it interesting. How many times is that going to get mentioned today? I found
100%.
Yeah, incredibly interesting was the budgets of the marketing.
Yeah.
And how, as you grow, it's like...
It was interesting to see, though, that Abacus, who have grown larger in a very short time frame, were spending almost 3 times as much money on marketing.
What was Abacus's marketing budget?
You have to watch the episode, but I'll whisper it to you. 500.
Oh, okay.
Roughly.
So was Lee was very similar.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
No.
But the big campaign was...
That's all.
Are you juggling leads and follow-ups? Or maybe you just want to accept a booking online?
ECLM is the ultimate done-for-you booking and marketing system built by external cleaners for external cleaners.
Inquiries can easily get a quote and book your services online.
Our automated system follows up with unbooked leads, helps get reviews from completed jobs, and integrates seamlessly with your website.
Our custom landing pages and dedicated Google ad management help your business get found online.
Plus, if you're using Facebook ads, our WhatsApp automation automatically books people in and sends them quotes 24/7.
ECLM will help you generate more customers by spending less time on admin.
ECLM is going to be at the Cleaning Expo on the 28th and 29th of March on stand 38, where you can find out some more information. But if you want to book a free 45-minute demo call, click the link in the description below. Now, back to the podcast.
So advert marketing wise, sorry about that, we just had to confirm some figures.
Yeah.
Behind
the scenes.
And it's how much they spent on it and how much they still absolutely go for it in terms of marketing. Because arguably, I mean, is there an industry where you can take your foot off the gas when it comes to getting new customers?
I don't, not at that level, no.
No, I suppose not.
I don't think even, you got to remember, we're in a very strange industry where, let's say 90% of the companies or businesses, whatever you want to call them, are just profitable jobs. People build their around 300-400 customers, they work on their own, they take home good money, and if they don't work, they don't get paid. So they have a job. But if you want to build a business, I think even from day one, you need to be having your foot on the gas. Obviously, relative to your size, you're not going to be spending some of the budgets they're spending if you're a new business. But if you're looking to grow at a reasonable pace and quickly, that foot needs to be on the gas.
Yeah.
Like, in some way, shape or form. Whether it's leaflets, Facebook, Google.
Massively.
Lee done a fucking TV advert. How wild is that? TV advert
for a window cleaner.
That is
it's
mental.
hard to get your head around that.
Yeah.
Like, there's budgets out there for these people. Yeah. I mean, I had conversations driving like recently, and people ringing you, "Oh, how was your week? What you been doing?" I said, "Yeah, like just interviewed a couple of people and that." And they're like, "Oh, really? Like, what's an interesting one?" And I'm like,
They're all interesting.
yeah, they're all interesting, but like, oh yeah, like, and then you get chatting, you're like, yeah, he like turns over nearly 3 million a year, and you're like, wow, what, cleaning windows? And it's like an operation. This thing. This isn't just a window cleaner, mate. This is like a full-fledged operation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
And in their time frame, it's about 7 years. The infrastructure that has to be put in place so quickly is crazy. Like, there's so many points in that time frame that could have just written off the whole business.
It's quite a tightrope, isn't it? It's definitely is quite a tightrope. But then moving on from them, lads.
Then we saw Phil and Josh at See It Clean.
Yeah, two cool guys. I've got a lot of time for them.
Phil's just sent me a voice now, actually.
Yeah.
So he,
cool dudes. They're going to be. I think they're going to be at the expo, aren't they?
Yeah. So I know Phil is. I don't think Josh is making it.
No.
He's
Oh,
got
that's
a baby
right.
due,
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. I
Yeah,
know he
congrats.
doesn't watch the podcast, so empty congratulations.
On second
there.
thoughts, no, I'm joking. No, best of luck, mate.
But Phil watches it, so you can pass on our congratulations once more. But yeah, he's going to be there at. He's going to be on James's stand. So the advert you guys have heard already for the ECLM, which is external cleaner lead management. That's what it stands for. Phil and Josh use that system as well as I use that system, and they're going to be there to basically say. Well, Phil's going to be there to basically say, I'm the success story of this software works. So if you've got any questions, I think he's got about 4 people that use his software on his stand, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they're going to be at the show. They're in the same hotel as us, so I'm sure we'll catch up with them.
Yeah, having a beer in the hotel, that'd be pretty cool.
Then we went on to see Ben from Potter's Window Cleaning.
Yes, we did. We did.
Ben.
This is a mega episode, by the way.
Incredible.
Yeah, just very different to what you're used to.
So Ben is like Ben could be a dragon on Dragon's Den.
Yeah, Ben is like a different entity completely.
Had a business turning over £17 million. That like is crazy. He's like the most achieved entrepreneur we saw in this whole journey.
And it shows like very transferable skills, extremely transferable skills.
The attention to detail, I think,
is like second to none.
And he dropped 600,000 leaflets off the bat of his business.
And he's only doing more. He wants to do 800.
Wants to do another 800,000 this year.
So yeah, colossal episode.
Mental.
Really interesting dude.
Yeah, and then we finished up that day with Jake Smouty.
Yeah.
Smouty boy. And that was a good episode. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's
done some really big things this year already, hasn't he? The amount of quotes he's put out.
Yeah, huge.
And that's all come from social media.
And that was one thing I took away from that. I couldn't believe, like, mate, my social media, I might get, back end of last year, I probably got maybe 1 inquiry a week. Out of that, I probably closed 75%. Like every 4 jobs, I closed 3. But that was it. I got 1 inquiry a week.
Mate, that's incredible.
But that was good, right? But it was only there was only a little stint between, like, I think October to like maybe mid-December. I got that, and that was it, right? I mean, Jake Smout quoted.
It was £103,000 worth of work
in 1 month.
Quotes that had gone out
in 1 month, and it's like, wow, this is working for you, bro.
Yeah, but he has got like a lot of. I don't know, followers, what you call them on TikTok.
He just manages to do the viral.
He gets a big reach.
Yeah, he gets a, that's
He's very good,
good way of saying
at making and editing videos. Like you can't take that away from him. He's got skills.
Yeah, totally.
When it comes to that side of stuff,
and it shows.
And dedication. He's, does his live stream every Monday. Arguably, could say he's almost as dedicated as me and you. I think we take the top spot. Anyway, then we stayed in a hotel, didn't we? That was good fun.
Yeah, we had a few beers in the lobby.
Dan had a few beers.
Yeah, I had a few beers in the lobby. You had a few Fantas.
I was working
and then
on the road trip editing.
I think we was in bed for about 10, weren't we?
Might have been. Yeah, I'll go to bed and I'll fall asleep straight away tonight.
Yeah, you did fall asleep pretty instantly. And then we had a little sauna, didn't we?
Got up in the morning, gym, sauna, breakfast, started the day right.
Do you know what? What a cracking hotel.
That was a really nice hotel.
I'd stay there again, yeah.
And
Then we started off with
headed over to Darren, PWS.
PWS, yeah.
Spent my monthly budget on new equipment there.
Toys.
Stuff I probably don't need.
I nearly walked off of a new pressure washer. But you do these things, these boys and their
It's
toys.
so easy to spend money down there. It's such an incredible place to go.
Mate, you go in there and you want one of everything, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like, I want one of them,
It's whatever you need there. And then you're like, well, I'll just buy stuff whilst I'm here.
And he had a dude there actually getting a new pressure washer. It was handover day.
Custom made.
It was I think it was a 21 litre, but it was a heated one. So it was a hot wash. And he had all the bells and whistles, didn't he? And
Everything.
he let us try it out on I know this is probably old news to some people, but a hot pressure washer on chewing gum took it off like it wasn't even there. And that really blew my mind. I was like, dude, you can totally revamp the West End. You know, a lot like Madame Tussauds queue when you're outside. There's probably chewing gum all over that. Imagine you rocked up and said, seal that and get rid of the lot.
Yeah.
They'd be all over it. So anyway, then from there we went up the road to, who did we go to next?
Partridge.
Sid Partridge,
Mr. Sid. We went and saw his new unit, which would be the dream unit for us, I think.
Yeah, to get your van in. And
maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit longer, I'd say, yeah.
But, I mean, for what?
Mate, I'm not complaining with it.
I would swap with that any day of the week.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
and he pays
unit.
a fraction more than we pay for this
Really?
cold shed.
Yeah, cold shed. No, he's a lovely. He's a cool cat.
He's
I like him.
really nice guy. He bought some donuts, which was good of him, and provided drinks.
Yeah, he's nice, just entertaining. Just sat down and just chewing the fat, really. At the end of the day, it was just three lads getting together and just having a bit of a chinwag, which was quite nice.
Yeah,
we had a giggle and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
and
good.
then we wrapped up with Addison's.
Yeah. And the two puppies.
I fell in love with them.
So if you want to see two puppies.
Yeah, I fell in love with them.
Actually, I put the puppies on the road trip.
Did you?
Yeah.
He was Michael Lynchy was a cool cat. He went from landscaping, didn't he, to
that one got very emotional as well. Got quite deep.
It was nice to kind of touch on that subject because no one really does, but it goes to show you we all have an input when it comes to an emotional story, but no one ever brings up an emotional story. Do you see what I mean? Like, you touched on it, and then silence fell across the room, and we was all just there, almost like thinking hard. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're all blokes who work on our own, so talking about stuff isn't the first thing that springs to mind. It's
not, but it's also interesting how as soon as it went there, we all had an input.
Yeah.
It's not like we was all like, well, what were we all talking about? As soon as it got emotional...
Let's all get going.
Yeah, but as soon as it got emotional, it was all like, no, I did this because of this reason. And it was like, we're not going to shy away from it. But also, it's almost like, arguably, why don't we do that more often then?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we felt very comfortable with Michael, and I think that's why I got a little bit deep.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's very easy to kind of chat with, isn't he?
Yeah, it was good.
So the road trip, we hope you enjoy the vlog. I cannot wait for the vlog to come out. I can't wait to watch it.
It's banger.
I'm hoping you're enjoying it.
What have you been up to this week, Big Dan? What's been going on,
mate?
in MKM's world?
I don't really know what the word is, but I've had a bit of a kick up the arse when it comes to advertising after the road trip. And the next day I went out canvassing.
And how did that go?
It went okay. I got one customer. So it was
talking to new customers. Let's
quickly
show them. The new board. So here we go. This is the new. How many customers have you added to your business this week?
By the way,
board?
We need to mention this is done by MJoy, which is a balloon company that also does the printing. We are going to put the link in the description below. If you have a wedding or anything like that, check them out. They do the balloon arches and all the rest of it. Superb. So thanks for MJoy. Emma at MJoy for doing the new board for us. And here we go.
But yeah, so that's ready to go. The new series of the competition is going to start after the expo.
The week after the expo, you know where to come. We've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people.
And
so we've got
a couple of people already
already lined up.
Chomping at the bit.
So we're going to have 6 people for 6 weeks.
So me and Dan are going to continue to play. Just to keep the dream alive.
Just while we're here.
We're not going to win anything, obviously. But Big Dan, how many customers have you added this week?
A generous 6.
Well, hey, I've added a impressive 11.
There we go.
Legs 11.
So there we go, there's the new board, and we're waiting for people. So if you're interested in joining for the next one, don't forget the prizes will keep incoming thick and fast.
You know what we could do? We could put the names in over the next 4 weeks. And to qualify, you've just got to make sure you comment on every episode of me and you, the Saturday episode, between now and then, because we don't want the competition to start and you're not even watching the episodes, you know.
If you want to join, send us a message or comment on the video.
Yeah.
If you want to join, comment on the video. We know people that comment every week. We know. There's one stipulation. If you're going to join, okay, you have to do the 6 weeks. If you don't do the 6 weeks, you will never be entered again. Okay? That's fair.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, if Big Dan says so, that's the...
Because arguably, if you've taken a spot on there and drop off after week one, that's not fair on someone who could have filled that space.
Also, we should caveat as well, if you win, there needs to be... We're not taking names on a bit of paper.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
There has to be some sort of... So you can do the report on Squeegee or on Cleaner Planner. I think Cleaner Planner have got some sort of report.
Yeah, we're going to...
Or, you know...
Basically, we just need some receipts.
Yeah, you can't just say, I did this many and...
But, 1 second, I'm just going to get to the canvassing. You have to wet the old whistle, son.
You don't have to take the lid off every time you drink from it.
Yeah, I know, but you drink from that bit, and I don't want what you got.
It's alright when we kiss.
Yeah, but I don't want to look like you. So started canvassing. I know a problem. I know a problem I ran into straight away. Probably because I was too keen to get out the front door. I don't have any clean jumpers. I didn't want to wear this, so I went out wearing my casual, and I had a green pullover, but I also had a green body warmer on. Mm-hmm.
So like you blended in with the bushes, they couldn't see you.
Basically, it was camouflage. But a lot of people, like every door I knocked on, probably for the first 30 doors, said already got one, mate. Already got one. And I thought to myself,
I think you're going to get a lot of that.
No, but it was like, mate, you're telling me every house on one street has got a window cleaner. Doubt it.
Why? I've got every house on one street.
Every house on one street?
Pretty much.
No, don't say pretty much. No, every house on one street.
I know the street that I do in Rochford, I've got 11 of them.
How many are there?
And I know there's another window cleaner that does about the same, and I think there's about 22 houses.
Okay. Yeah.
There might be one or two that haven't got one, right, but they might not even answer the door.
So I agree that one or two might not have them, but my rebuttal was literally 30 people in a row, like one or two streets had them, and I was like, but then when I spoke to Emma, who was also come out of me canvassing, she was saying, I'm not getting anyone say they have one already, they're just not interested. So I was like...
so maybe they're saying it because
of how I'm dressed.
Big and ugly.
Yeah, and also I wasn't in a uniform, and she was saying, mate, how about this?
I don't know though, because you've got quite smart clothes.
Yeah.
So it's not like you've gone out in a tracksuit.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, not at all.
You know, I don't think it's the clothes. I said to you, didn't I, before you went out, I think a woman would get a better reaction.
Mate, Emma got offered a cup of coffee. How many times have you gone canvassing and got offered coffee?
Because they like feel sorry for women, don't they?
But no, she had a great response. There's actually 4 still on the back burner.
Yeah.
Waiting to hear back from. I'm going to trap their door next week if they don't message me. But basically, they said, yes, give me the leaflet and let me give you a buzz. Maybe a little bit more pushy, could have closed it. However, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, the response I got was incredible. I had a woman say yes, and I cleaned her windows today.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's been a good response.
Brilliant.
Really? What about you?
What have I been up to? So I can't remember if I mentioned I got the speeding fine. I thought I've told you, but I can't remember if I mentioned it on the podcast. When I was away for my birthday.
Oh, you did mention it.
I was, yeah.
You had the tyre burst.
Come back, tyre burst, and then 2 days later, letter through, being snapped by the mobile, the guy in the van, basically, on the other side of the road, caught me. So I was a bit, disheartened by the whole thing, but I've been offered the speed awareness course.
So you got
no points. Bus case, blood!
Well done, mate.
So I got that on Friday. So yeah, that'll be done and dusted. I put out a lot of quotes this week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. I'm also the estimator this week. No, I've had a couple of good ones. So I had a guy in Bicknaker, which is like 45 minutes down the road.
How do you pronounce it?
Bicknaker.
Yeah? Is that how it's pronounced?
No, it's Bicknaker.
It's Bicknaker.
I don't know. I'll call it Bicknaker. He's not moved into the property yet.
Yeah.
But mate, most gorgeous property you've ever seen in your life.
Gorgeous.
300 square, 100. No,
You're right,
300 square metre
You're
roof.
not buffering, don't adjust the screen.
I've quoted 3 roofs this week, so I'm trying to make sure it's the right one.
Just drop that in there.
about.
Just drop that in there, yeah.
3 big roofs.
Yeah.
Big things. 300 square metre roof. Said we'll do the roof. It looked relatively new, and it would have lent itself to a low pressure wash. And normally I recommend a scrape because I don't want the hassle of low pressure wash anymore. I'm over it. But this one, I actually said, he asked for a scrape, and I said, I will do the low pressure wash at the same price because that will look incredible when it's done. So yeah, that one. He said he's keen to go ahead, but wants to settle in first, and has booked me for a one-off window clean. So hopefully, sees the van. I said to him I'll do like a drain inspection of his gutters for him, just to sweeten the deal, and hopefully he gets back to me and has his roof done. Then Gavin sent me a roof to quote. That's, she seems pretty keen as well, which would be nice. And then I quoted another one from another local window cleaner who recommended me.
Yeah.
Again, he asked for scrape and buy side, and roof. It's like it would have been a new build estate like 20 years ago, so the roof's not that old. Maybe 15 years ago. Yeah. So I said, again, this would look perfect, low pressure washed, would come up immaculate. So I knocked some money off, included the soffits and fascias, and he wants to meet me on Monday next week, because I couldn't do Friday because I've got this speed awareness course. So hopefully when I meet him, I can close that one.
Yeah.
But he's also said his neighbour might be interested if he hasn't done. So that could be a little double trouble.
Yeah, leave the scaffolding up.
Yeah, well, I've already given him a discount. And he wants more of a discount because I want to do the job.
Oh. Because he wants more of a discount now?
Well, he was like, if the neighbour has it done, maybe we can come to an arrangement. And I was like, arrangement on full price, yeah. But I'll deal with it if they have it done. It's so unlikely that people are going to... It was a big roof, about 180 square metres, so I think it's unlikely that both of them will go ahead. And I mean, if they do, I can knock them out in probably 3 days.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Yeah, that'll be good if they come in. I know they're not in, so I'm not trying to count my chickens before the eggs have hatched.
Yeah, totally.
Other than that, we've been adding lots of new window cleaning customers, as you can see. I've definitely noticed, and this is something I wanted to mention, I've definitely noticed less or more no's second 2 weeks of the month.
Okay.
As opposed to first 2 weeks of the month.
Yeah.
And obviously, you get a quote for a window clean at 22 quid. That 22 quid seems much higher when you're more broke.
Mm.
So when you've just been paid, it's like 22 quid, bosh, see you later, get that paid. But then like gets to 2 weeks through the month and you're like, your money's starting to run out. You're like, 22 quid, I don't know if I want to spend that right now.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
But I've definitely noticed the big difference between first 2 weeks and last 2 weeks of the month. And I was considering turning my ads off for like the last 10 days of each month. But I haven't, and I've had 2 new bookings come in today.
Oh, there you go then.
So it's like well worth keeping it on. But I also changed up my Facebook ads. So I was covering all the areas I cover, including Billericay. So it's like imagine like an ant. It's like that sort of shape, right?
Did you say an ant?
Yeah. Like, you know how an ant's got a straight body and then it's like the head on top.
Yeah.
So that's the shape of my ads, the areas I cover.
Yeah.
Right?
That's really small though.
Not many houses in that size. So yeah, that's the shape of my ads, and it was like a 250,000 reach. You know, Facebook gives you the reach amount.
Do you believe that reach?
Yeah. It's only based on the number of Facebook.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's going to be pretty accurate. And then when you put your money in, and it tells you your expected number of leads. Well, I created a new ad. And as I was adding the areas, the amount of leads was updating. And I'd added all the areas apart from Billericay, and it was higher. The amount of leads was higher than if I added Billericay all under one ad. So I thought that's a bit strange. Maybe it's because it's like a little bit further away. So I've set up that bulk area on one ad, and then Billericay, which is the further out area, on its own ad. And I'm getting sub £3 leads.
Really?
Which I was getting £6 before, so it's half the price.
Wow. So
and I've got a lower daily spend. But same amount of leads.
So something's really working there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but...
So arguably, okay, you know, these are like not old school, but these, I mean, other people, shall we say, other businesses, they're very adamant on leaflets, right? Now, I'm sitting here and I've done a little bit of like advertising on social media. It hasn't really gone that well for me, to be honest, but then again, I'm still learning from it and I still haven't cracked the code, shall we say. However, the response you get seems to be quite well. I'm surprised they haven't implemented it as well.
I think it's like, why fix what's not broken?
Yeah, I suppose.
Like if you've always done leaflets and leaflets work for you, then brilliant. But you've got like Joe, who's in our Discord. Put the ad in for the Discord there. Obviously, cut this bit out. That'd be a good point. He done 100,000 leaflets after going to see Lee, and said he got like 40 customers, which
is awful.
Yeah, well, is awful in comparison to
100,000.
What you should be. You should be expecting 1 to 1.5 per 1,000 views. So he should have had 100 to 200 customers, somewhere in that realm.
So that percentage is like 0.4.
Yeah, really low.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, so it's hard because I think it all depends on the area you're in, how saturated it is with window cleaners, how many of those window cleaners are also putting out bulk leaflets. Because like if you're third in the queue, so two other companies have already sent out bulk leaflets to your area or areas that you're doing, you know, number one's going to get the best response. Number two is going to pick up any stragglers maybe. What's left for number three?
Yeah.
I mean, we very rarely get a window cleaning leaflet through, and even then it's delivered by the window cleaner. So would it work around here?
When was the last time you got a window cleaning leaflet through? Genuinely?
I've had one that since I've been window cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember how long ago.
So you had one in 3 years?
Maybe two.
Mate, it's ready to be dropped, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Like, I sit there genuinely, and I'm really leaning now towards the leaflets, because I sit there now and I look at adverts on social media all the time. I mean, whoever says they don't scroll is a liar. Everyone scrolls, yeah? Arguably, I don't interact with anything. I don't even interact with the videos that I like. Like, every now and then I'll like a video, but if something's right up my strata, I might not even acknowledge it, I'll just go past it. So I'm quite, I don't know, I don't really have this like interactive...
You're not the target market for social media though.
But arguably I'd say I totally am.
No, you're not. You're like the least tech savvy person.
No, I know what you mean.
Like, yeah, you get caught up in the hamster wheel of scrolling,
and like you can advertise in front of me.
You're not like an engager of social media.
That's it. That's a very good way of saying it. Yeah.
So if a new social media came out and they were advertising for people to join the platform, you're not on Threads, you're not on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. You're probably not on TikTok.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah.
So you're not the typical target market.
So would you go to a restaurant and then leave a review on their Facebook page?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I find that wild.
No. I would if I was asked for a review, I'd review them on Google.
Yeah. I do that as well, but you know, like when people like, I don't know, anything that they go on something and then like they ask to leave a review and like, well, maybe they don't even ask them. Like someone will buy a t-shirt and they're like, oh my God, I bought my husband 3 of these, they all fit brilliant. It's like, wow. I
think probably a portion of them are fake.
Yeah, no, totally. But do you see what I mean? Like
I see this ad for chinos come up all the time, and they're like £99 chinos, which is excessive. But all the top 3 ads are always the same, and it's some guy going, "These aren't even expensive. They're such good quality."
Yeah. They just
like
arrived
variation
today.
of that.
I know what you mean.
And it's like, they're not real.
I know what you're saying.
So guys, before we get back to the podcast, we just wanted to let you know about a new thing that we've added to the podcast to help support our travels, to support our getting guests on the podcast, and just to overall help us out a little bit with the running costs of a podcast.
And in return of your support, guys, we have put together the Uncleanables Community Hub. And this is a hub where like-minded individuals such as yourself can come together, you can share ideas, you can chat, you can discuss work, all different topics, all under one roof.
So it's super easy to join the community, guys. There's a link in the description below. Just click on that. It will take you through to our YouTube page. On the membership section, you can sign up there. Whether you're listening or watching, it will be in the description of the show notes.
And once again, thanks for your support, guys. Back to the podcast. I just find it, I'm shying away from it because, like, the leaflet for me is, I like holding literature and flicking through literature. Do you know what I mean? Like, even them mate, you might laugh. You know the free magazines that comes through, like, that's almost aimed at old people?
Yeah.
So, like, they might have the magnifying glass in it, or the magnifying glasses, or like the vibrating foot plate to like aid blood flow. I used to love flicking through them. Never bought a thing.
No.
But I loved it. I was like reading it. It's like, wow, these magnetism glasses, like, you know what I mean? Aid blood flow while reading. I used to really enjoy reading that. But that on social media, I wouldn't even bat an eyelid. No. It's weird, isn't it?
But I think on social media, you know you're being sold to. Like, you've read that magazine, and you've not seen it as an advert.
Yeah.
If you'd seen it as an advert, you would have just thrown it away.
Do you know what it is? I can narrow it down to you, yeah? I don't like someone trying to sell me something.
No.
I will sell it to myself.
No one likes being sold
So,
to.
like, when I go in the car, let's say I walk around a car dealership. Let's say I walk around any dealership, yeah? Even when I go into the tool shop, yeah? The power tool shop, like with the steel chainsaws and that, and the dude comes out, he's like, do you want any help? I'm like, no, I'm all right, mate, I'll just read it. And sometimes I'll get him out, but I just like just reading the stats and then comparing the stats myself. I mean, he can do the job a lot quicker than what I can.
Yeah.
But I don't want that pushy salesman.
Also, you never know what their motivation is. Like, they might recommend a different brand and tell you it's better, but they actually get a better commission on it or something.
Totally.
And it's like, you've got... And the world didn't used to be like that.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I started driving, you'd walk in and immediately you'd have someone come up to you, hi, can I get you a drink? You know, what is it you're looking for today? Like, when I bought my last car, we got it from the Peugeot dealership. I walked in there and no one came to see us.
Mate, does that not make your blood boil?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm only here because I want the car. But, like, make me want it, bro. Don't
throw me a bone.
Like, don't be looking at me and then just putting your head back down.
Do you know, my missus, we done exactly the same thing into a dealership, and her friend worked at a dealership. And do you know when they say, I'm just going to go with my manager and just check them numbers, yeah? That's total lies. Do you know that? They walk away to give you time to talk.
Right.
Like, that's totally what it is. Because I always sat there and I thought to myself, why does everyone run it past their managers? Like, mate, like, I'm not asking for anything above and beyond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might ask for something really trivial, like, oh, mate, can you, like, throw in a spare tyre? It's like, I know you've got a room full of them. Do you see what I mean? Like, let me just run it by my manager real quick. And it's like this, like, 15-minute ordeal. It's like, that is there just for you to talk. Do you see what I mean?
It makes sense.
All them sales tactics and that, I kind of, it's not that I see straight through them, but I just don't really find them genuine.
So those sales tactics don't work on me because I talk myself out of it rather than in it.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So I'm like, now, like, if you sold me then and there, I would have signed a bit of paper.
Yeah,
you'd have had the deal. But now you've walked away and given me time to think, I'm going, well, if they come back and say they can't do it, I'm walking away.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm prepped.
I know exactly what you mean.
And they come back and they say, oh, we can't do that, but we can do this. And I'm like, don't worry about it. You know, we'll have a little think about it and walk away. And then they're probably thinking, oh, he was never serious anyway. But I would have signed that bit of paper. Absolutely.
So I had this, right? So my van's just gone into the garage, yeah? So I had the DPF, diesel particulate filter or whatever for the exhaust, chock up, don't know how, anyway. So the guy who runs the garage is my friend, and he said to me, he's plugged it in, and he went, it won't do a regen because it's too blocked. And I said, mate, I've only had it a few months. So I ring the guy up I bought it from, big dealer. I said, you're right, bud. I said, can you just double check if this is still under warranty? Turns out it's not, probably by 8 days. Yeah, and I was like, typical. And he said, it's all right though, run it down and we'll have a look. And I went, but what's the point? And he went, well, sometimes we can do stuff, like sometimes we can have a look. And I went, but what's the point? It's out of warranty. Like, I'm not going to pay you for it, am I? Like, is it where it is safe where it is?
They know ultimately if you get it down there,
I'm not going to drive it away.
They're like, yeah, we can sort it out, but it's not under warranty, and then you'll go, all right, just do it then. But
if he would have been on it, like I said to him, look, I'll be honest, mate, I ain't going to bring it down to you. I said, I don't really want to drive it. I said, I don't want to blow the turbo up. I said, and also, I've got it sorted by a friend. He said, yeah, no worries at all. I thought, why don't you just say it that? Why don't you just say, like, mate, just keep it there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a similar situation to that earlier today. So I've had, when you do Facebook ads, you get the price shoppers, right? So this woman's message, and she's got her quote, and it was minimum charge. It was 18 quid 4 weeks, £24 8 weeks, minimum charge. And she's gone, thanks for your estimate. I was like, alrighty, here we go. First line of the message, I'm like, it's a quote, it's not changing, I'm not estimated anything. I'm not happy with the price. If you can do it for £20 every 8 weeks, then I'll go ahead. But I've had a cheaper quote.
Go with him.
I said, that's what I said to her.
Yeah.
I went, I'd recommend you go with the person who's got the cheaper quote. I said, I'll be honest with you, for a company that's regular, reliable, sends out texts the night before, pays that, pays insurance, pays their tax, pays for the water, pays for the fuel. And it was in Billericay, so it was like a 25-minute drive away. I was like, I can't do it any cheaper. And I said, I wouldn't amend my prices anyway. And she went, oh, okay, I'll just stick with the guy I'm using then.
So you haven't had a cheaper quote?
No.
Current is cheaper. Yeah. And do you know what's annoying, right? So you was 24, she said do it for 20.
Yeah.
I guarantee you her bloke's 24.
Yeah, he probably is, yeah.
She just wants it cheaper than him.
Yeah. But I was like, as soon as I get messages like that, I won't negotiate, because I know as soon as someone else comes along,
you're gone.
Puts an ad in front of them, they're cancelling me and going with them.
Totally.
Because I'm not I'm never going to be the cheapest.
Yeah. You don't want to be either.
No.
Because with that becomes a lot more problems as well.
Yeah, you don't want to be the most expensive, but you don't want to be the cheapest. You want to be somewhere in the middle, I think. Some sort of sweet spot would be the nice area, unless you've got leads coming out your arse, it'd be the most expensive.
Oh, I'd done something earlier that you would have laughed at. So that's
almost everything you do.
Pretty much my life. So I woke up. Wait! No. So I had to go through this customer's house, which is a bit jarring. But I went through the house anyway, clean the windows. I noticed that my flexi hose that goes up inside my pole is leaking. But it's got 3 perfect, basically it's hit the saw in my van.
Yeah.
And it's like, tss, yeah. So I'm like, right, I've caught it early, right? But obviously, I've got to go through their house. So I was like, right, okay. So I put my finger on it and it was like galloping out. So I was like, right, okay. So I wiped it and I looked, I read the hose up and I held it in my mouth. So it's obviously I'm catching the water in my mouth as I'm walking through. The dude's gone, you got a leak, mate? And I went, yeah, I'm walking through. So I spat the water out when I walked outside. And I thought to myself, mate, if Ryan was here now, he would have cried.
How far up the hose is it?
Oh no, it's annoyingly it's about halfway.
Yeah.
I might just put a join in it, because I don't really want to get rid of the, do you know what I mean?
Oh, you can't, you probably...
I might CT1 it. And honestly, I might CT1 it and wrap it in like a gauze.
You could probably, get away with once you've not got water running through it, drying it off and then just duct taping it or something.
Yeah, or just, the super glue you get.
Yeah, just, something like that.
It's literally like a pin prick.
But it's not expensive.
No, I might just
just get a new one.
Yeah, I will.
I've probably got some out there.
It's just annoying. It's just annoying.
Is it the black one?
Yeah.
I think I've got another tube hose you can have.
But yeah, man.
Well, you're not fucking the best. You stick with me, son. You stick with me. You get all your stuff looked after.
It's good stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, that's it really.
It's been. I don't know about you, but since we got back from the road trip, I was just exhausted. And I didn't feel that tired whilst we were on it. But as soon as we left the last one, we were both I'm knackered. And it took me 2 days. Today is the first day where I felt a little bit more awake.
I feel like we was both getting over illnesses.
Yeah.
And we went on that and we had to save face.
Yeah,
we had to be all right. Do you know what I mean? But now we're back now. It's you can kind of let everything fall to bits.
My eye's still twitching as well.
Is it?
Yeah, so I thought I had this twitchy eye for a couple of weeks, and I thought it was just the stress of the road trip. I thought there's a lot to do, a lot to sort out. And I thought once done the road trip, he'll stop twitching. Arguably, it's worse today than it's ever been. So I've got to go back to the drawing board with working out why it's twitching. But
it's probably light levels. Sometimes it is
stress. That happens all the time when I've got something stressful going on. I've got to go court next Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah, for that. You was in the van when that woman drove into the side of me. That was
court?
2.5 years ago. So
is she really not arguing that?
No, so it was meant to be virtual court.
Yeah.
I turned up, sitting there, and then her lawyer
turned up to a virtual court.
Yeah. Her lawyer turned up.
Oh, I remember you saying.
And her lawyer said, "Oh, she's not going to be able to make it because she can't work out how to join the thing."
Wow.
And I was like, "How's that my problem?"
Surely that's like
I wish I didn't say anything, but
something.
I wish I'd fucking spoken up because if I mean, I'm going to speak up if she says something in court, because I've got to stand there in front of her. It's just bare awkward now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
I'm just going to quote the highway code.
Yeah.
And then just do some mad, like, emote dance.
Right, should we leave it there?
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up.
Right, everyone, thank you for watching another episode of the Uncleanables podcast. We are gonna have a bit of a purge now because all we've been talking about recently is the road trip, but this is gonna be the last episode we talk about it, and we will be back to our fight and fit selves next week. So remember,
stay cleaning.